Okay, so here's the deal, you guys. We're going to watch the first opening scene of this movie. And then we're gonna start reading. Okay? Got it? So I warned you that it's a little crazy. But you'll like it. If you don't like it, I won't hurt you. Okay, we'll mark the death. Open the door. I know, okay. Okay, let's start it. Of course he knows how to open the door. I'll point out characters to you as we go. Can you all hear it okay?
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows, docked with their death, bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
They don't really have first names, but in the movie they give them to them, even though they never use them. I don't know. His name's not really Ted. Shakespeare was more creative than Ted. Okay, really quickly, just so you know, it's set in Verona, which is Italy. Obviously, this is not. It's like LA, basically. But the chief of police is taking the place of the prince. In the real play, it's the prince, and then I think that's it. Paris is the governor's son, but in the play, he's the guy who wants to marry Juliet. He's a count. It's Ant-Man. Okay, this is gonna be crazy. Warning you. So the guy driving is Benvolio, and the other two are like servants. That's what I was talking about.
Between our masters.
And I
These are the Capulets. I'm sorry. That's it. That's the bad part.
Here comes the House of Capulet. Horrible, horrible Betsy.
Okay, I do. This is why I know it's weird, but I wanted you to see the characterization because the Capulets, even like these are their servants. These are the people that work for them. So even they feel the need to fight, but obviously they're nervous. Like the Montague boys are like servants are like, we should probably say something bad to them, but we don't really want to, right? And so he's gonna bite his thumb at them, which is like flipping them off, and then it's gonna start a fight. Okay, but this is just to show you that no matter like the civil hands make civil blood, whatever the civil blood makes civil hands unclean. This is showing you that even the servants would fight just by like seeing each other, even when they're not provoked. It gets a little crazy.
I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it. Huh? Go forth, I will back thee! Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? I do bite my thumb, sir! Do you bite your thumb at us? Sir. Is the law on our side if I say aye? No! No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir! Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir! But if you do, sir, and for you I serve as good a man as you! No better? Here comes our kinsman, say better! Yes, sir, better! You lie! To all you Lord knows you know not what you do!
Okay, that's Benvolio. He's trying to keep the peace, even though I pulled his guy. It doesn't look good. But he's telling them to stop
Put up your
fighting.
swords!
Sybil. His nickname's the Prince of Cats. That's what they call him. Because he has 9 lives.
These heartless hinds. Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword. Or manage to depart these men with me.
Peace. Peace. I hate the word. As I hate hell, all Montagues. And thee. Hey! Come forth, now!
Give me my arms, thou shalt not stir 1 foot to see the fellow. I'm planning to through those bloody hands! Throw your mystical weapons to the ground! 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by Duke Capulet, and Montague have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace.
Okay, we're going to watch just a little bit more and then we're going to start reading.
Where's Romeo? Sorry him to death. Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, underneath the grove of sycamore, so early walking did I see your son.
Many a morning have he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew.
Away from light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks their daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night.
Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create? Heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms.
Okay, we're going to stop there. And we are, if you want to turn in your book, but what he just said, I'm going to find the line where Montague just said this. Okay, so you guys, just so you know, if you didn't catch what the the police was saying, that if they fight again like this, if they disturb the streets of Verona one more time, their lives will pay the price, which means what? Yeah, they're gonna die. So he said, and not Tybalt and Benvolio, but Capulet and Montague, because they're the head of the family that they need to stop it. So I liked showing you this version because it's way more destructive. And it shows you like the chaos that their feud has started to ensue in the town. Okay. So at the, let's see, Montague, you heard Lady Montague and Montague talking about Romeo. And remember I told you he's kind of emo and he just like locks himself in his room. That's what they were saying. He shuts out daylight, makes himself an artificial darkness. He's constantly keeping to himself. This is on page 293. Where he's like, it's like line 124-ish. So when we're talking theme, one of your themes is individual versus society. And right here, you're seeing how Romeo is different from other boys his age, right? He's never out hanging out with the guys like you saw. It says, and he makes himself an artificial grave. So you're seeing a lot of foreshadowing already in the text. That Romeo is going to die. But anyway, so right there, remember, you can write on this book. So if you're thinking this idea of individual versus society, right there is where you first see Romeo as a different person. It's on page 293. You see Romeo as a different person than the other boys his age. Okay. So Benvolio tells Montague and Lady Montague everything that happened, and Benvolio was trying to keep the peace, but it looks bad for him, right? He looked like he was in the brawl, but that wasn't his intention. Okay, So we're gonna start reading at the end of page 293, and I'm gonna stop the video because they don't need to hear you read, they can read themselves. But just so you know, let's see, do I have this pulled up anywhere? Oh gosh, I always do that. I almost fall out of my chair every single time. Okay. So I just want to go over really quickly what we're going. So this is still, we're in exposition. Act 1 is your exposition. So you were just introduced to Tybalt and Benvolio, and then they're like posse. Their posse is really not that important, but that's Tybalt and Benvolio. But I have to show you my slides because they're fun. Okay. And this is Act 2, Scene 1. So we're still in Act 2, Scene 1. We're meeting our important characters. We're learning the roles that they play in this story. We're going to learn the background and setting, and then the conflict, and then we're going to start to see our themes. So I will point out themes consistently. If I were in your position, as I am pointing out themes, you should make note of those themes in your book. Highlight, underline, write like the theme, because then you always have notes to come back to about how this is an example of one of the themes. And then, you know, when you decide what theme you want to write about, then you have evidence. You don't have to go back and find it. In Act 1, Scene 2, this is Juliet from the version of the movie we watched, and that's her nurse. Remember I told you it's like her nanny. She's hilarious in this movie. So we'll meet them in Scene 2 if we get there, which I think we will. Okay, I'm going to pause this.